What we are humans, it's not complexly evolved machines. Mervyn Minsky. There's a new type of organization in town. This is not the kind of company that your father or your grandfather started. And it is the fact that we are moving from linear thinking to planetary exponential thinking. Our brains evolve in a predictable environment different from the current one. This creates a gap between our biological evolution, our way of thinking, and the resources around us. This gap can be seen as a stress or as an opportunity. We are challenged to adapt and embrace this change to have a significant impact in an interconnected world. I want to welcome you to this episode. I'm very excited about this chapter in particular. Well, all of them, but this one is special because I would share my work vision. I will share with you where I am focusing my attention, my energy, and my way of working towards the next 5 years that I'm aiming for. Welcome to EXOPRENEUR. In the next few minutes, I will share a new mental paradigm shift when thinking about creating businesses, companies, or organizations with the purpose of elevating humanity and empowering entrepreneurs like you to transform on a large scale towards a world of accelerated growth and abundance. At the end of the day, it is a privilege to be alive at the most extraordinary moment in human history, the second digital renaissance. In this exciting conversation, we will delve into the very foundation of the world of exponential organizations, lean startups, Silicon Valley tech companies, etc. What they are, how they are built, and how you can bring your great purpose to a global challenge to create a profound impact. So, this could occupy our mental stage not for fleeting moments, but extend over days or even weeks. But I want you to consider this space as a constant training dojo, maybe a sensei. The mission is clear: to unveil the fundamental characteristics of these revolutionary organizations, build bridges of understanding about their essence, and dive into the journey that will take you to merge your MTP, your massive transformative purpose, with a global scale challenge. So don't blink, the future is definitely faster than you think. In the 21st century, those who travel on the train of progress will acquire divine capacities of creation and destruction, while those who lag behind will face extinction. Yuval Noah Harari, Homo Deus. From linear thinking to exponential mindset. So, why should I consider becoming an exponential organization? To understand this goal, we must first place ourselves in a slightly different mindset to talk about exponentials. What does it mean? How does it feel to be on a wave with exponential growth? Again, we are all linear thinkers by evolution. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 steps linearly. You have 30 meters of distance. You have gone straight to the door. You have crossed the street. But in 30 exponential steps, where an exponential is a simple duplicate, 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32. In 30 duplications, you are not on the other side of the street. You have gone 8 billion meters away. In other words, you have given 26 laps around the planet. And is this disconnected between linear and exponential that makes it so attractive and extraordinary? And it is what you as an entrepreneur, exponential entrepreneur, can start to take advantage of. Exponentialities are intuitive, but why? Imagine you take a piece of paper with a thickness of 0.13 millimeters. How thick would it be if you fold it 50 times? It might seem like a simple question, and you might think it will simply be 50 times, right? And this answer is incorrect. You had managed to fold a piece of paper times, you will have a thickness of 1 meter. If you fold it 20 times, you would reach the length of an American football field. And if you keep it folding in 38 times, you would have to circle the entire planet. Don't believe me? Try it. Surprisingly, if you fold it 54 times, you would have reached the distance between the Earth and the Sun, which is 93 million miles. This disconnection between our linear intuition and exponential nature of the world around us is what we really need to understand. What we are witnessing today is happening at a much faster pace than our linear intuition could anticipate. Understanding how these technologies are born decoding the success of exponential organizations. So, what is a startup and what are the Exos technologies? Starting a journey into the fascinating world of exponential, This organization led us to explore the origin of this business revolution. It all began in Silicon Valley, then a NASA Singularity University was created when they launched into the thorough analysis of 150 to 200 unicorns. Those extraordinary organizations that scale at a dicey rate since 2008, this pioneer created a new dimension in the business world. Thus, the concept of startups and now exponential organization was born. But why? This is an adaptation driven by volatility. It is in the terrain to transverse floors, a volatile world. Our adaptability drives market value. In the next decade, the structure of companies, NGOs, projects, and governments will follow this approach, as the numbers are confirming its effectiveness. It is very important to frame what has happened in the world that makes this new organization emerge and what change has occurred. Convergence. How are these technologies built? Emerging technologies such as expanding sensors, AI, or artificial neural networks, advanced robotics, scientific biological printing, augmented reality, virtual reality, blockchain, and even quantum technologies are converging on the horizon as entrepreneurs and organizations immerse in the exponential current. It is not longer enough to base a business on just one of these technologies. The real transformation and industrial revolution are in the creating disruption from the synergy of 2, 3, or even 4 of these converging elements, redefining sectors and generating significant impacts. In 1996, Kodak was at the top of the world with a market cap of $28 billion and 140,000 employees. But what many do not know is that 20 years earlier, a guy named Steven Sasson, he had invented the digital camera. Imagine that Steven took his innovation to the Kodak board and told them this was the future of the company. But can you believe it? They responded that it was just a toy for kids because it took all photos of only 0.01 megapixels and it's in black and white. And at the time, Kodak was focused on his business in chemicals and newspapers and couldn't see beyond. This year passed and Kodak once a giant went bankruptcy in 2012. Meanwhile, in the same year, another company called Instagram was bought by Facebook for $1 billion and they only had 13 employees. And everyone mocked that acquisition. But here's the interesting part. Remember when everyone laughed at Instagram? Well, now no one is laughing. Its valuation exceeds $100 billion. Those filters and photos we share have enormous value, and it makes us wonder, where was the real business? Kodak's business wasn't in the chemicals or newspapers. It was in something deeper, preserving people's memories. The problem was then that when a better technology appeared, Kodak couldn't adapt. They were trapped in their old business model while Instagram leaped into the future and embraced change. So, folks, these stories teach us that in a constantly evolving world, we must be willing to embrace new opportunities if they seem small at the first. There is something called Moore's Law, created by Gordon Moore, a pioneer of the microprocessor industry and co-founder of Intel in 1958. He created an integrated circuit, and since then, that circuit has been doubling almost every year and a half. More transistors on a tiny piece of silicon makes your computer, your phone, and all devices work. Moore observed and detected that the growth rate of these circuits doubled every 80 months. Then predicted that this will continue doubling over time, and he called this Moore's Law. Just imagine that in the last 50 years, we have seen impressive increases in computing power with an increase of 1 billion times. The last 48 years, from the first mechanical computers to integrated circuits with advanced technology. Now, this Moore's Law has been replaced by One's Law, CEO of NVIDIA, where their AI chips have multiplied by 1,000 in just 8 years, a much faster growth rate in the Moore's Law predicted for transistors in general, and it is due to the same exponential gap. Ray Kurzweil calls this the law of accelerating returns. When a technology reaches limits, a new one appears to take its place. It has been the case and will continue to be so. We will go from exponential computing growth to three-dimensional computing, photonic quantum computing, advanced at saturated steps. It's like a technological race where each step takes us further. So this is so fucking incredible, right? I call this the computational expansion coefficient, inspired by the cosmological expansion force of the universe as described by Einstein's general relativity theory, where the universe not only increases but expands at an increasingly accelerated rate. That is, the separation speed between two galaxies doubles over time. The intelligence of the cosmos. I propose the idea of the computational expansion coefficient as a way to describe the accelerated advance of technology. Just like galaxies, technology seems to be moving away from its limits at an ever-increasing rate. Each convergence that arises between these technologies far exceeds the capabilities of the previous ones, driving exponential progress in our digital world. It's as if technology is a constant race against itself, where each new mutation takes us to a completely new starting point with even greater possibilities. The computational expansion coefficient captures this beautiful dynamic. So, driving exponential progress in our digital world is so crucial. If something can go wrong, fix it. This defies Murphy's Law. In their book Vault, Peter Diamandis and Stephen Kotler put it this way: the main engine behind this exponential growth is digitalization. Digitalization is the fuel for exponential growth. Information is now globally accessible with a good internet transforming everything. Your mission is to digitalize any aspect of your business as soon as possible. Once something is digitalized, it can be dematerialized, turned into zeros and ones. And if that is the case, it can be demonetized because the cost of replicating those zeros and ones is effectively zero. Initially, technologies may be deceptive. They don't show their full potential and progress slowly, Like the early digital cameras, the first digital camera was 0.01 megapixels, then 0.02, 0.04, showing a slow growth that can be deceptive. However, remember that doubling something small eventually leads to massive growth. For example, doubling 20 times is a millionfold increase, and 30 times is a billionfold increase. This deceptive growth stage is crucial because it leads to disruption. New digital markets emerge, often displacing old ones, like Airbnb with hotels and Uber with taxis. Disruption happens because the exponential growth reaches a tipping point, changing the landscape rapidly. Technologies such as robotics, AI, 3D printing can be confusing if we are not following the right sources, but they are poised to disrupt the world significantly. Once digitalized, technologies become cheaper and sometimes free. The cost of replicating digital information is effectively zero. This means complex tasks and services become easy and accessible, potentially replacing physical needs. A smartphone is a prime example, as it is a powerful tool that has become widely affordable. Digitalizing something allows you to dematerialize it and demonetize it, making it accessible to everyone. Digitalization leads to dematerialization, where physical products are replaced by digital equivalents. All the gadgets that once required physical space, like those from Radio Shack, are now available as apps in your phone. Trend will continue as soon even more products and services will be completely dematerialized, perhaps accessed through devices like headsets in the metaverse. Digitalization, dematerialization, and the monetization lead us to democratization. Your ability to transmit digital information to the corners of the planet becomes almost free, making your products and services accessible to everyone. The ultimate goal is to digitalize in order to dematerialize and demonetize, thereby democratizing your offering to scale globally and make them accessible to all. In the second part of this episode, we will delve even deeper into all of this. And I think it's essential for you to take a moment, generate awareness, and understand the implication this is already having in our society, our environment, our families, our way of living, thinking, and communicating, and threatening their environment in the context where the magnitude of the impact is absolutely profound and radical. What are you programming your mind with? Who do you shape your perspective with? Opportunities appear, my friend, when the eye is prepared to see them. If you program your view to see the world full of opportunities, you will find them. Thank you for lending me this second of your time. See you in the next episode. Bye.